Greetings metal community, it's Roger back with another video. Collection update, pretty big one. Been dragging my feet, so stuff has been piling up. First I just wanted to thank every new subscriber that I have been receiving lately. Not last Sunday, but the Sunday before I actually got 200. So thank to Paul Walsh, who was the subscriber number 200. Today I checked, it was 240. So yeah, it's getting more and more each day, and it's pretty cool. Never thought that would happen, but I'm grateful, and thanks to all the new subscribers, and hope you enjoy my channel. When it comes to giveaways and stuff like that, when you celebrate a new number, I will do it, but that could happen at, 250, or if I get 300 or 301. I'm not celebrating round numbers. And also I do have a big collection that is kind of in disorder, so I have to get it organized to see all the stuff that I can give away to people. But enough said. First I'm gonna show up. I got this as a birthday present. I recently turned 48. I got the tape, the new tape from Enevelde, Gravgang. Primitive Norwegian black metal. This was recorded, I think he just used 2 days to record the whole EP. Great primitive Norwegian black metal. They also gave me this cool Enevelde shirts. So thank you guys, much appreciated. So over to the stuff that I have paid for. I'm going to start with a haul from Extremely Rotten Productions. For those who don't know that, it's a label distro in Denmark who has a lot of cool shit. I always buy my books from there. 7 metal inches. This is the picture disc edition. I also have the 7 inches of death. A lot of cool pictures and all of everything, and there are interviews with the bands, and the information about the releases. Really cool. I love this type of books. Put on a good record and flip through this is a nice thing to do in the evening. I also bought 4 tapes. I bought the newest split by Ruin together with Thy Feeble Saviour. I mean, Ruin is a great death metal band. I think a lot of you guys know it. And these songs are great. The Thy Feeble Saviour, not so good in my opinion, except apart from the last song. Song number 6 was pretty good. But too scruffy and it didn't catch me at all. Too simplistic in a way. But I'm sure there's a lot of people like that. But for me, it wasn't any good, except from that song number 6. Then the first, Bedsore EP or demo from 17 or something. 2 tracks of kind of black and progressive death metal. Pretty cool. Really like their album. This is more black metal than the full length that they had in 2020. But yeah, I like Bedsore, so I need to have that one. Then I got the split with Scolex and Mortuous. I guess everybody knows Mortuous is a great band playing the the modern US death metal style. That's a bit doomy, murky, killer stuff. great songs, both of them. This is the first I've heard of Scolex, but that sounded pretty great, so I will check them out again. So that was a good one as well. And then I bought the tape of, this is Mournful Congregation's third release, called Tears from Grieving Hearts. I do have this stuff on a compilation CD, but I kind of wanted this 3 first albums that I'm lacking in my collection. The first 2 albums was self-released. They have been reissued on vinyl, so I'm going to try to get a copy of that. So that was the CDs. Now cassettes. Then we are going over to the CDs. I have a little stack of that. Bought 2 albums of Vouna. Kind of a well, this is the new one called something, of course, Atropos. This is kind of what the description in Metal Archive says, blackened funeral doom. Mostly clean female vocals, but not like operatic. It's just this very soothing, clean vocals. Very nice vocals to listen to. I wish that, you know, this is the lady who runs the show. I wish she had used the black vocals a little bit more, because that kind of gives something more to it. But great songs, and it is funeral doom, but with more black metal guitar sound and kind of a more black metal feel to it. But it is the same structure as Doom and Funeral Doom. The first album was, for me, more straight Doom metal with clean female vocals. Again, a very kind of soothing, nice album to have in the background if you're reading a book or something. So if you like that type of music, slightly atmospheric Doom, go check Vouna out. I will link it up below so you can go check it for yourself. Then I bought 2 CDs from Ethereal Shroud, Trisagion and They Became the Falling Ash. Kind of in the same vein, it's doomy black metal, but here is of course black metal vocals all the way. A bit too long. I don't remember how long this was, but over an hour, and it get a little bit tiresome. But song for song, this new album is pretty good. This is kind of too simplistic in a way, but I ordered both when I ordered the one, so it didn't add to the shipping. And support the band. That's what we do here. Then we are going to the album playing in the background, Nazxul from Australia. I of course wanted this on vinyl, but it was sold out before I even knew that it was released, and I hate this slip thing they do. I mean, they could have had it in this end, but they do it here inside, and that's annoying. But it's good for the environment, no plastic and shit like that. So, but a great black metal album. If you haven't heard Nazxul, so go and check them out. They are pretty legendary. So I guess most of the black metal people know about them. Getting pretty hard to find. I hope there will be a reissue at one point, because everybody should have the chance to buy one of these. And we have the latest Nocturnal Hollow. Kind of a fold out. And they turn into a pretty cool image. Yeah, these guys are from, I would say Greece, but I might be wrong on that. Don't kill me for saying it wrong. They are playing, yeah, old school Swedish sounding death metal. and they do it really good. I'm kind of tired of those, but that type of death metal, but these guys do it pretty well, and have done so for all their releases. So Nocturnal Hollow, if you like old school sounding Swedish death metal, the vocals is kind of towards like grave, and the music as well. A great band. I also did buy this. Is it Vaticinal Rites or it's Vaticinal Rites? I don't know. Great band from England. Liam over at Death Doom Metalhead showed this in his last video. Short, 12 minutes with pure class death metal. As I said, I will link it up below so you can go check it out. But this is great stuff. So hope they will get an album out soon. So and also did get a sticker with it and a thank you notes, which always is cool to get when you order directly from the bands. So Vaticinal Rites or Vaticinal Rites, I don't know, but killer music. Then I got the Bathuska. Yeah, I don't remember the title of this. This is the real Bathuska. What is the real Bathuska? For me, it's the Bathuska made by the guitarist who made the songs for the liturgy plot record. Liturgy record. I don't remember his name. But you know, the vocalist stole the name and the trademark and moved on and made a crappy album. This album, on the other hand, is great. This sounds like Bathuska should do, and of course with the original creator of the music, it should. And you know, I like this actually a little bit better because the vocalist, the black vocals here are better. There's lesser choirs, the Gregorian choir stuff in there, but that's okay. But overall, this album kind of reeks a little bit more evil. Might be because of the hackle between the two guys that he has put some energy into this album, but it's a great one. I will link it up below. It's pretty hard to get. There is a Russian boot of it. That is the official Polish release, but it's kind of getting expensive. I had to pay a little bit too much. Then we have Khnvm, which are from Singapore, or do I fuck that up? I don't think I am right. Great evil death metal, vicious. Yeah, I don't know much more to say, but this is a great album. And did come with a patch and a sticker and also a signed poster. But yeah, this is quality vicious death metal, or blackened death metal as some say, but for me it's kind of just, yeah, in the veins of more like Nomenon, old Necrovretch and stuff like that. Great album. Then we are jumping over to the vinyl section, and I also have a single this time. I'm just gonna open that shitty plastic. The new Darkened single called Mourn, the Dying Light. That is cool. Center label there. Great Swedish death metal. Especially the song on the B-side there is absolute killer. The slime runs down your throat. That is a killer song. This is a great band. So if you haven't heard them and like Swedish death metal, go and check Darkened out. And the cover is, as always, by Mr. Castellano. I think they use him all the time. Then I bought all these 3 records I bought from a seller on yeah, it was cheap. This is Skeletal Remains. Do have it on CD, but this is the only one I didn't have on vinyl. So of course, when I got 20% off, I had to buy it. So it was a good deal for me. Great album. I know there's a lot of people who kind of yeah, say that the vocalist is too like or too similar to Van Droon, but who cares? As long as they create great music, I don't mind. Then I finally got pull the plug on this Artillery X or 10 Danish. I would say power thrash or heavy metal / thrash metal, because there's a lot of heavy metal here. Not as much thrash as back in the days, but great album. Had this, melodic voice going on, so therefore it goes into the power thrash. But solid album from Artillery. Then I bought this. I haven't heard it before I bought it. Bewitcher, Cursed Be Thy Kingdom. Really cool cover on this one. I don't know what to put this. Heavy metal with kind of thrashy, blacky vocals. Kind of rock and roll heavy metal. Some songs there are pretty good. Second song or third song, Satanic Magic Attack, was a killer song. But overall, I need to spin this more. I'm not sold yet, but there are some good moments here, so I might get around to it. Then I bought this Deathwish At the Edge of Damnation. Seen this being shown a lot last year, and finally pull the plug. Not like, I don't think this is fantastic. It's okay, but this is. I might let it go, but I will listen to it a little bit more. But maybe it's too soft for me. But there are some cool elements of cool songs here, so I will give it a couple more spins. But it's not certain that this will stay in my collection. But you never know. They might surprise me. Brendan von Doom showed this a couple of videos ago. It's the Hex, Watery Graves, and Quest for Sandy. These are the EPs that I released between Under the Spell and the death metal record that I can't remember the name of. But the 2 last songs on this are songs from the Under the Spell album. But they have re-recorded it with the guitar player took over the vocals after Under the Spell, and those 2 songs are way better on Under the Spell than they are here. So Brandon, go and listen to Under the Spell, because it's better. I like this, especially this one, but this is kind of because they have re-recorded 2 songs and made them much worse than they were in the original form. Then I've started, buying Atomkraft. This is the Construction of Noise EP, or 6 songs, but as a B-side as bonus tracks, live recordings and stuff like that. I think it's 7 studio songs. Pretty good, thrashy metal. And looking forward, I ordered 2 other releases by them, so I'm looking forward to but because this was pretty good. I've also seen Atomkraft getting some more attention now, so that's good. Then we have a Swedish Doom band, Taivas, the uninvited guests. This is straightforward Doom with a little bit scruffy voice. Not as good as the previous release, but that was kind of a split release with old stuff and new stuff. And they were more occult sounding in the early days. Now it's kind of pure Doom, but a good album. But if you want to check out Taivas, do check out the first release. That's slightly better, but I do enjoy this. It has a really cool voice, so it's standing out a little bit from the normal Doom. Then we are going to, I think it's Germany, with Pyrokanda, two sides of a coin. Great melodic thrash metal, or it's thrash metal with this more melodic voice, not so harsh vocals, but the music is pretty thrashy. Great album. I do have this on original CD, but I wanted it on vinyl as well, you know. I don't think it was any color, no. So if you're into thrash with a little bit more melodic voice, Pyrokanda is a great choice. If you want something that you haven't heard, or the lesser known bands. Then I bought the demo collection of Stargazer. Didn't get hold of their album last year on vinyl. A lot of reflection here. Pretty. The first demo from '95 is pretty raw black metal in a way, but the 7-inch EP Born is 2 steps up in quality, and kind of the more avant-garde black and death metal that they are doing now. So especially the B-side here was pretty damn good. Then I bought the reissue of the Opprobrium, or the original, what was they called before? Slipped my mind. They had to change name because there was some other idiotic band who had the same name, so they couldn't. And I'm Incubus, of course, and I'm used to having I have the CD with the Incubus, and that looks better. But there's something wrong with when you have an album with another name and they had to change, and they changed the name on the cover. It's kind of fucking with your head a little bit, but a great thrash metal album in the vein of I would say Sepultura, Beneath the Remains period, for sure. Excellent thrash metal. Then finally, I, for the first time in my life, had a copy of Fistful of Metal, or Fist in a Mouthful of Metal, should the title be. This is a butt ugly splatter. I really hate this splatter. This is so boring, but a great album apart from that fucking I'm 18 Alice Cooper cover song that they have as song number 3 on the A side, which is terrible. It's so bad. But apart from that, a great album. But I just wish they had put that 18 song dead last, so I didn't have to listen to it. But great album, love it. Love Neil Turbin's vocals on it. So that was all I had. 25 minutes. A little bit too long, but I'm sorry about that. I will try to be better and shooting my updates more frequently, so I don't pile up so much shit. Yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing and commenting, and we will see you, as always, be sure.